There we are. Hi, this is Dr. Tina Welsome from the Key Publishing House, and I am back with yet another author from our upcoming book, The Transformation Within, Words of Wisdom to Help You Win at the Game of Life. And now, at this point, today, right now, I'm joined by author Brian Thomas, author of the Prosperity Toolkit as well. And he's here to share a little bit of his wisdom and what you can expect from him in the book. Welcome, Brian.
Welcome. Thanks. I appreciate you having me, Tina. I'm excited to be part of the project and looking forward to the engagement with all these great authors.
Well, glad to have you and glad to let you kind of have the spotlight right now to tell us a little bit more about yourself and kind of who you are as a coach and who you work with and kind of your philosophy. But I guess I'll ask you the same question I've started with everybody on is, what does transformation mean to you personally?
Wow. For me, it represents sort of a breakthrough. It's when people achieve a certain level of personal growth that's higher than where they were before, kind of never going back to that person that they were. And that could be personally, financially. It can apply to different areas of your life, but once you transform, you go through kind of a metamorphosis, an awakening, and that's really great to see it happening. And we're all constantly going through it, but a transformation is kind of another threshold, I think.
And I love that you can't go back. Like once you've learned it, once you've seen it, you can't unknow it. You can't unsee it. And definitely, I had that same vision of metamorphosis, which is why there's a butterfly on the cover of our book.
Love that.
Yeah. So can you tell us what kind of coach you are and what people you tend to work with, kind of what you offer?
Sure. I'm a financial coach and an accountability coach. And I started as primarily a financial coach, looking to help young people kind of get a head start on their financial independence, building wealth, and trying to just kind of pay forward what other people and mentors shared with me when I was younger and helped me become financially independent. But I soon found that a lot of people aren't really ready to manage their finances because they haven't really got the right mindset to become accountable or to be able to manage their time and be intentional about the things that you need to do in order to build wealth. And so I found that I needed to be more of an accountability coach and even a life coach. So that's kind of transformed over the 3 or 4 years that I've been officially coaching.
So probably like that transformation you offer your clients, you too are always transforming and morphing into that higher level. And that's great because you bring them with you, right?
Sure.
So what are some of those early formative mentorships? I know a little bit about your history, but what is it that you love about kind of this concept, or how did it inspire you to get to this? Because I think your story is a really cool one.
Yeah, I mean, I started coaching probably, I had a career in human resources as an executive and information systems benefits, compensation, rewards. So I've always had a little bit of helping people with their finances and getting that financial aspect of their life together, and even the wellness and health side of it as a benefits manager for a few years. But as I got closer to, my own kind of career threshold, my brother-in-law actually encouraged me to begin helping some of our family members, our nieces and nephews. And so our goal was to really just begin coaching them and to kind of make sure that our families were kind of getting ahead of the curve. And we decided to found Prosperity Toolkit, which is basically our coaching practice. And his name is Nolan Pearson. And he was really instrumental in making me transform into a real coach, as opposed to me just doing it at work and at family reunions and driving my coworkers nuts, just constantly telling them about managing their finances. And so, yeah, he was really the person who kind of pushed me into that space. And it resulted in me deciding to retire early. I loved my career and I loved the people I work with and engage with. And it was really difficult to leave those relationships. But I think I had sort of plateaued, and my passion was really helping people. And I really made a leap of faith to leave the corporate life early and to begin just doing what I loved. And I was just fortunate enough to be in a financial situation where I could do that and not have to worry about, making money while I was helping people.
Right. And I think that's so great because it was, your own life experience and your own knowledge that put you in that space of having the prosperity to be able to take that leap to kind of into your zone of genius and really following your passion to be able to help more people with your knowledge and your experience, which is so incredible and definitely needed, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody could use a little bit of intention in their life. So that's what we're trying to do, is get people to really focus and do the things that they really dream about doing, which is
Yeah.
really what prosperity is about in the title. And the toolkit is bringing the tools necessary to achieve those goals.
Mhm.
Whether it's financial tools or just wellness tools or other things you need to take advantage of. And so I'll talk about that in my chapter for sure.
Yes, definitely. Do you want to share with us your chapter title or kind of what
Absolutely.
we could expect since you led right into that?
Sure. The title is called Live Life with Intention. And that's what my practice is all about. And that's what I generally try to get people to think about, is living life with intention, build wealth with intention. And in the chapter, I'll talk about what I call the spectrum of intentional living. It really talks about 5 stages of growth in terms of how much you're living with intention. And in those stages, you progress from being a passenger in someone else's life. And we all start out as passengers, as children in our parents' lives. And we slowly progress to being what I call a navigator, trying to figure out life and navigate it. And then you ultimately become a driver, kind of trying to make goals and create family, and you really have good control of what you're doing. And then ultimately, if you become a traveler, what I call a traveler, then you really have a clear view of your passion, your goals, and you really begin to develop a plan for all areas of your life. You go beyond just making it and having a good career or surviving. And then the highest level on the spectrum is a guide, where you've just achieved full independence financially, personally, and your goal is to help others achieve that in their lives. So
Love.
that's the first part of the chapter.
That's great. And obviously it's obvious to me, at least from all my experiences with you, that you are sitting in that guide seat and you're now ready to help people get out of the passenger seat and start getting into their own driver's seat. And then certainly it helps. I think we all know, those of us who are coaches, that most of us have our own coaches who help us grow and learn and get into these spaces that we're getting into. But certainly you can help them navigate kind of that future path that they want to drive and learn those skills. So how, if people were to work with you, kind of what are the processes or the programs or the opportunities that you have for them to learn these skills from you?
Yeah, well, right now we offer one-on-one coaching packages, and we offer group Zoom calls that we do for more of a community engagement as
Mhm.
opposed to direct coaching. But in the future, we're working on developing online courses and workshops that we can touch more people. And
Mhm.
I definitely want to continue my journey of becoming an author and writing more about how people can engage and use these tools to really escalate their intentional living. And so that's kind of where I'm headed right now. It's primarily one-on-one coaching.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah. In the chapter, I talk about the tools that you need. You basically need 4 key tools for success. You need to have the right mindset, first of all, whether you're trying to get financially independent or whether you're just trying to achieve other life goals. You have to have the right mindset and decide that I'm going to take control of my life, or I'm going to leave my old life behind and become somebody new. So you really need to become something in order to be able to do more,
Yeah.
to be able to have more, that be, do, have model.
Yeah.
And secondly, you need to take advantage of the mentors and coaches, so that you can learn from their previous successes and failures. And a lot of people either get stuck and they don't do that, or they just for some reason don't reach out for help. And
Mhm.
the more we grow and the more we think we've got it figured out, the less we think we need other people's help. And so I always say never work with a coach who doesn't have a coach, because if they don't have a growth mindset, then you won't. And then you also need a map. You need some type of a guide to guide you along your journey and to avoid the roadblocks. And so you need to create a plan, just like you create goals at work. You need
Mhm.
to create goals and a plan for your life. And then lastly, you need continual movement. You need to constantly be gaining new skills, and you need to be doing all the things on a daily basis, creating new habits, and actually walking the walk, and not just saying, "Yeah, I've got a plan now," and put it on the shelf and not execute it.
Yeah, I love all that. It's so true. And it's so fascinating to me. Like as I'm listening and talking to all of you, I feel like I'm getting coached just by like grabbing your words of wisdom, which are phenomenal. And we've got Joey's listening, so we've got another money-minded guy out in the audience saying great stuff. So that's a good endorsement. People can purchase your prosperity toolkit right now. Is that correct?
Yeah, I actually created a journal that I created for myself personally. For years I was, focused on time management, and I don't want to date myself, but I used to use, the old Ben Franklin calendar
Hmm.
tools, but I created this journal for myself, and I used it for about a year or two before I decided to share it and publish it, and make it available to others. And so it is available on Amazon.
Awesome.
If you go to my website, you can get a free download of it, a PDF,
Hmm.
where you can test it out, which is what I did for a while. I'd print it out on the printer, but I talk about that in the chapter. That's what I close the chapter with, kind of my daily routine, which is, starting every day with gratitude, focusing on my number one priority task for the day. If you get that done, then you basically have had a great day. It's
Hmm.
a difficult thing to do. Not let all the other distractions get in your way. Whatever you say is number one, you've got to do that by the end of the day at least. And and also some habits that you need to improve, whether you're walking or drinking water, whatever you need to improve to achieve your goals. You
Hmm.
track those in your journal, so that's available. um, I love the fact that this book is a multi-author book. I've met many of the other authors, and I'm learning so much about their different disciplines, and I'm glad that it's designed for all the benefits to go to a charity. And so if you could talk about Ilimu Girls, I think that anybody listening should understand that all of these authors have dedicated their time and energy, and we're not doing it to get any monetary value out of this book. It's all going to charity. I
You
love
know,
that.
thank you for bringing that up. I will plug Elamu Girls because Cindy Rodriguez, my dear friend and founder of Elamu USA, she is actually over with the girls in Malindi, Kenya right now. So I did do an Instagram live with her the other night, and got to hear about some of the girls that I've had the privilege of meeting on Zoom. And someday, I got it on my bucket list. Someday, my travel plans include being there to meet them in person. But
uh,
Elamu Girls is a sewing school, the Harry Sewing School in Malindi, Kenya, and it brings young women from their villages into a safe and secure sewing school where they will spend 2 years. And when they leave with sewing skills, um, pattern making skills, design skills, marketing skills, and they leave with a sewing machine and a sewing table and a bank account, which gives them a choice and a voice in their own life. And I think, whether we're talking about the prosperity, of the people you're working with, or, the mindset and the heart centered goals and everything else that all the other authors are talking about, I think that's what we all want for every member of humanity, is to be healthy and to be wealthy and to be abundant and to be safe. So it means a lot to me to be able to take the proceeds from the book and sales to support a young woman and keep her safe, keep her from, being used for sexual tourism or being a child bride, but really empowering her to step forward into the life that she desires. And I think all of us as coaches, we want everyone we work with to be healed and to have that, that enlightened, ideal dream life that they're trying to create. And even though our dreams are all different, they're all valuable and important, and I think speak towards having a healthier planet. So that's kind of my mission behind my business. I want to
Yeah,
heal
that's great.
part at a time. So,
and that's one of the reasons I became part of the project. At first, I thought, oh, I've got so many other things I'm trying to do right now, and I was also, frankly, kind of afraid to do the writing. But once I heard about the charity, I knew I had to put that in the forefront and kind of get over my fear, uncertainty, and doubt about writing, because I know this will perpetually provide some revenue for that charity. So I'll be looking for all of our combined communities to support the project when it goes live in November. So
yeah,
looking for everybody's support.
It does. So tell me, how bad was the writing? Was it as bad as you thought?
No, I started off talking about my personal journey, and I realized, reading, I got the opportunity to preview some of the other coaches' chapters, and I realized I can't write my personal story in a chapter. I need to save it for the book, right? So
there you go.
So it was great. It encouraged me to continue writing after this project, and I'll probably write my own memoirs later. But I'll give a sneak peek in the book about how I've personally went through challenges, and I was kind of pushed to the next level of the different thresholds in that spectrum of intentional living. And you don't need to wait to be pushed. It's better if you decide to gain the skills and kind of walk to the next level on your own, because things can push you there, a divorce or losing a job. Other things can kind of push you out, or tragedy in your life can always kind of push you to the next level when you're not ready. And I had a little bit of that early in my life. I did things before I was really prepared, but it made me stronger. And the people who helped me along the way, I kind of share a little bit of that in the story. So.
Well, we're very grateful to the people that helped you along the way so that you could show up and help others now. And it was a joy to talk to you today. And I hope everybody enjoys reading Brian's chapter when the book, The Transformation Within, comes out in November. And don't forget to sign up for the Transformation Within Summit, where you'll get to hear even more one-on-one great wisdom from each of these amazing authors. Thank you, Brian, for joining me.
Thank you, Tina. I appreciate your time.
My pleasure.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.